IPL Auction 2018. IPL Auction 2018 talking points from day one. Ayush Putran last updated on Sat. the 27th of January, 2018, 11:00 p.m. This year, on the opening day itself, there were as many as 13 uncapped Indians who were bought for 3 crore rupees or more. BCCI, no caps, but a lot of bids. The target was 180. But only 110 went under the hammer on the opening day of the 2018 Indian Premier League auction, i.e. after the duration was overshot by 15 minutes. Statistically, only 60% of the job was possible, in the absence of any major technical issues. The reason for the lagging happened due to the keen interest shown by franchises for uncapped Indian cricketers. Every IPL auction throws up surprise bids that overshoot conventional budgets. And with uncapped players, it mostly happens due to the strong conviction of the scouts of more than one franchise. However, over all these years, there have been only a limited number of lesser-known cricketers who have rarely attracted big bids. This year, on the opening day itself, there were as many as 13 uncapped Indians who were bought for 3 crore rupees or more, some of them bagging a price even greater than international players. With each passing auction, teams have become smarter. They have learnt from their mistakes, observed trends, picked up the sharper moves of their rivals and eventually changed their strategies accordingly. The uncertain dynamics of the auctions often don't always allow for perfect auction buys, but they have all learned to build around that idea of perfection. The most noticeable aspect of the opening day of this year's auction was the interest that uncapped Indian cricketers generated. 25 of the 49 Indians to be bought were uncapped, alongside the 29 international recruits, while the wicket-keepers, barring Ishan Kishan, were overlooked. The batsmen, bowlers and all-rounders attracted handsome bids. 2 teams, Delhi Daredevils and Sunrisers Hyderabad, especially, showed great interest. Daredevils were hyperactive during the bidding of uncapped all-rounders, buying Rahul Tewatia, 3 crore rupees, Harshal Patel, 20 rupees L, and Vijay Shankar 3 rupees, 2 cr. They even won the bid for Deepak Hooda for 3 rupees, 6 crore, only to lose him to Sunrisers Hyderabad's right to match card. We knew beforehand that the second half of the day was going to be busy. There are several impressive youngsters. Ricky Ponting, Delhi Daredevils head coach, explained, and when we are picking a team, it's not just for this year. It is for the future, and that is why we invested so heavily in them. Quote, Hyderabad shelled out over 3 crore rupees each for Siddharth Kaul and Khalil Ahmed. Apart from showing interest in T. Natarajan and Basil Thampi, Mumbai didn't go for too many players, but they went big on the IPL regulars. Unpredictable lines. They bought back Krunal Pandya using the right to match card for as much as 8 rupees. 8 crore, making the highest paid uncapped player in IPL history. They also released 3 rupees, 2 crore from their budget for Surya Kumar Yadav, who had previously represented the franchise. However, it was during his stint with Kolkata Knight Riders that he started featuring regularly in IPL games. Akash Ambani, the owner of Mumbai Indians, agreed with Ponting's views and added, I agree with Ricky. If you see that past few seasons, there hasn't been a lot of difference between the capped and the uncapped players. Like Ricky said, we knew it was expected to be a busy second half. There are some really good talent who haven't played for the country. Quote, even as the event didn't go as per schedule, Rajiv Shukla, chairman of IPL's governing council, was pleased with the turn of events. As I had said at the start of the day, our emphasis is on uncapped players. Domestic players. I'm really happy that so many franchises showed interest and so many of the uncapped players got picked. This is the USP of the IPL. Quote, Morning bird goals. There is a saying in English, the early bird catches the worm. We wanted to be that. Preeti Zinta, co-owner of Kings 11 Punjab, said about the over-enthusiasm of the franchise in the initial rounds of bidding. As some of the bigger teams like Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings remained quiet, Kings 11 Punjab were out showing interest in almost all the players who were called out. In the first round, they went after all the players except Chris Gayle, only to return empty-handed. 3 of their bids for Shikhar Dhawan, Faf du Plessis and Ajinkya Rahane were matched on expected lines. Teams were willing to go big on England all-rounder Ben Stokes. But eventually, it was Rajasthan Royals who sealed the deal at 12.5 crore. They did secure Yuvraj Singh in the second round, but it was only because no other franchise showed interest in the veteran southpaw. The big market buys, however, began in the third round as they went big on the Indian-capped batsmen. They managed to buy Karun Nair and KL Rahul, but their long fight for another Karnataka batsman, Manish Pandey, proved too heavy on their pockets. They even managed a steal on David Miller, who was retained for 3 crore rupees. Speaking about the overzealous approach for showing interest in almost every player whose name was cropped up, Zinta explained that it was a result of her past mistakes which made her take this decision. We did not retain a lot of players, so we had a lot of spots open. Also, I had made one mistake in one auction where I was like, let's wait. We will use our money on some other player. And it doesn't quite work out. It's just our personal experience. We have waited earlier and it hasn't quite worked out. So this time we didn't want to do that and went for a lot of players early on. Quote, the veterans army, who says T20 cricket is a young man's game? Surely not Chennai Super Kings. At the end of the first day's auction, they have 11 players in the squad, with Ravindra Jadeja, 29, being the youngest of them all and also the only one not in his 30s. It was a bizarre move as Chennai Super Kings rarely even showed interest in younger players, let alone pursuing bids for them for long or buying them. Stephen Fleming, Chennai Super Kings head coach, explained the rationale behind the move and in other words basically said, no, it's not really a youngster's game. This year we have really valued experience. Around the world if you see, experienced players are doing well, he said. Fleming further added that he and skipper MS Dhoni, who had professed the need of fresh legs during his early days as Indian captain, were on the same wavelength with regards to this idea. Young players come and go. We wanted to go for tried and tested players who have done well under pressure. So, that was the plan. Quote, already the team wears an old look, filled with players who you would believe are past their prime. The thought that this is an investment for the period till the next mega auction is quite an optimistic view on their part and a brave idea to back. Crick Buzz.